Hey guys, this is Ed, Paul, and Anna of Current Brand Media, and we are here to tell you a little bit more about our sponsor.
Sportsball is a great subscription service geared towards minor league baseball fans. Each box features a different minor league team.
You get a box every 3 months with minor league baseball gear, including different styles of hats like Ed's favorite, the dad hat. The cost is less than $12 a month.
Proceeds from each box goes to More Than Baseball, the only nonprofit dedicated to the well-being of minor league baseball players.
We all know that Parents' Days are coming up this summer, so if you've got a mom or a dad or a grandma or a grandpa who are particularly difficult to buy for, but you know they're baseball fans, this is the answer, guys.
Meet your new favorite team at sportsballbox.com.
Is there anybody there?
What's up, Deadhead crew? Ed here, and on this episode, I had the pleasure to sit down and talk with Anderson Rathbun. He is the GM of the Sock Puppets. We talk baseball, future plans for the team. We also talk a little Cleveland Browns baseball and a little championship of ping pong. Yep, ping pong. That's right. So, without further ado, I give you the episode. All right. Well, I want to welcome you guys to yet another episode of the Dadhead Chronicles podcast. My name is obviously Ed, and with me today, I have a special guest. I am super excited, super stoked to have the general manager of my Appy League team, Anderson Rathbun of the Sock Puppets. How you doing, my man?
Man, I'm having a blast. I appreciate you inviting us and having me on. And yeah, I'm excited to chat with you today.
Awesome. So I've been doing this little search of teams to contact, and then you were the very first one, and then right away you said yes. So I'm very thankful for that. So thank you very much.
Yeah, definitely. We're thankful for the support that you show us on the internet and on Twitter specifically, man. We really appreciate it. I don't know if you get enough love from everybody else, but it doesn't go unnoticed. We appreciate it, and we love what you do.
Awesome. Hey, listen, I like it when you guys dropped the name and dropped the logo and all that. I thought it was the most hilarious, awesome logo there was, and I automatically said, "Yep, that's my team right there from the get-go." So that's right. So I want to get to know a little bit about you, the person, right? Anderson, the person, before, after and then we'll go into the whole team thing. I love the fact that you are from Northeast Ohio. Well, North Ohio, right? Because you're closer to,
right? Sandusky, yeah.
Yes, sir. That's right. And you are a man of my own heart here. You are a Browns fan.
That's right.
Yeah. So how did you go from Ohio to Clemson?
Yeah. So long story short, because I mean we don't have that much time. Right. I wanted to play baseball in college, in all honesty, and that was like the main sport like I was in love with, all that stuff, and I was looking at a bunch of small D3 schools because I wasn't like that athletic. Mm-hmm. I barely probably would have even gotten playing time my junior and senior year at a D3 school kind of thing, Mm-hmm. But my dad actually used to travel to South Carolina a good bit back in the 90s and fell in love with the Clemson area. And Anderson, South Carolina was a spot there. He had a little place that he used to travel to down there. My mom and dad loved the name. My dad really wanted to name me Anderson when they found out that they were pregnant with the second son. Mm-hmm. So I was named Anderson. So when I was applying for colleges, my dad was like, "Hey, I don't know if you even know anything about it, but I just want you to apply to Clemson just to say you got into the, school of the area that I named you."
Right.
So I applied to Clemson. I got in, and I was actually dating this girl at the time in high school. She breaks up with me, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And the day or a couple of days before my spring break, my senior year, this is March, my dad's like, "Hey, let's pack the trip. Let's go to Clemson and just take a visit." And I said, "Okay." Went to Clemson, fell in love with the place, and the rest is history. So, I mean, it's been a blessing and a half. Clemson was awesome. I went there during the heyday with Deshaun and the up and coming, or right when Clemson really became that powerhouse. So it's been a blast, and really everything so far in my career I have to thank is my dad making me go to Clemson pretty much. It was a great time, but also from a career standpoint, my freshman year, spring semester, I was giving a speech, in my speaking class.
Yeah.
And it was like the introduction, like, hey, what do you want to do, kind of thing. And I said, hey, I want to work in baseball, after graduation. And this kid pulls me over to the side after class and says, hey, my brother actually works for a team. He's a general manager for this team called the Burlington Royals. It's a small rookie level team. Would you want an internship? I said, yeah. So I got an internship after my summer after my 2015 year for Ryan Kerr, who then became the president in Daytona, brought me down to Daytona after I graduated college, and then acquired the Burlington Royals and named me general manager of March of last year. So it's just been this weird full circle kind of thing. And I just feel very lucky, very blessed. And yeah, it's been a fun ride so far.
That's awesome. That's a cool story because, not a lot of people, get to have the opportunity to work in the minors or, go up in there. So you're a lucky man. That's awesome.
Thank you.
Let me ask you about this 2017 Battle of the Paddles Ping Pong Championship, my man. How did that come about? What tell me the story there.
So it's not even as big as what I make it seem to be, but I put it in there for funsies for, if any of my friends ever saw that kind of thing, they'd be like, you're an idiot for putting it in. What it was is I was in the student organization. I was in a business fraternity, Delta Sigma Pi at Clemson, and I was the athletics chair, for the organization. And I was really into ping pong, and I organized this huge tournament. I think we had like 100 participants or so, and in the spring, and I ended up winning the tournament. But we put together this whole production. So like we had this, I was a part of the media club at Clemson. So I actually had my buddy, we made brackets, we filled out brackets, and we did like this huge March Madness kind of thing.
That's amazing.
With our organization friends and everything. And it was a great time. I think it might still be up on my YouTube. It's like 23 minutes long. And it's just us like making up random crap about it. But we blew it out, had a lot of fun. But yeah, I'm very proud of the Battle of the Paddles championship. Nobody even knows what it is, but I don't even really try to elaborate. I just tell people, hey, yeah, it was Battle of the Paddle championship champion in 2017, and people are just like, wow, that's really cool. I was like, yeah, well.
I mean, no big deal. I won that. No biggie.
Yeah.
Because it's funny. I was actually Googling it,
Mm-hmm.
doing a little bit of research.
You won't find anything.
Nope. You know where it took me? University of Notre Dame.
Oh yeah, okay, that's fun.
So
hey, we'll take that too.
Yeah, there you go. I was like, all right, but whatever. That was I was laughing when I saw that. So kudos to you. Congratulations.
Thank you.
So let me ask you, because this is the one question that I ask everybody. Growing up, how did you become a fan of the sport? Do you attribute that to your family, to your parents, becoming a fan?
Yeah, my dad, my dad was a huge sports fan, huge Indians, Browns, Cavaliers fan, and we used to go to Jacobs Field all the time when I was younger, and we'd always try to get there early because my older brother and I, we loved watching the grounds crew, get the field ready and dress it all up and everything. And I was obsessed with Omar Vizquel, which is kind of a shame right now, like to see what all's going on with Omar. But when I was younger, I played shortstop. I had red cleats to be like Omar. And every time I'd go to the haircutting place when I was a kid, I'd say, hey, I want to make my hair look like Omar. And he was bald, so he would just like shave my head.
That's
hey,
awesome.
So yeah, I love the game of baseball. Baseball is always my number one sport. And then in high school, I had a sports marketing class, and the teacher said, she said the quote, if you love what you do, you'll never work a day in your life. And anybody who knows me, I hate working. I'm not a workaholic, but I love sports, and it's true. I mean, it's been a really, really fun ride, and I really feel at home here in Burlington and Alamance County. And it's just been one heck of a time.
Love it. Yeah. Growing up, it's like, for me, it was Omar Vizquel, but my favorite player was Sandy Alomar. Growing up, yeah. And I'm glad that he's still with the team, in some capacity as a coach. Hopefully he'll become the manager eventually. But yeah, that was my player growing up. Oh yeah, just loved watching him play. Yeah. Big dude too. So I'm 6'2", and he was a catcher, so my knees were never the same when I played bit of time that I played.
Yeah, you look like Jake Taylor from Major League, on the plane rides, always having to ice and stuff.
Oh yeah, exactly. So 2019, right? You guys, the They purchased the Burlington Royals, right? That was the 19, right?
20, very, very beginning of 20.
Yeah,
February,
beginning 20.
February of 2020.
2020 happens. You guys no longer the Royals.
Yep.
Become the Sock Puppets. That was a long period of time of just nothing but planning of, the choosing the names and all that. So that took, and from a previous podcast that I watched, you were at the beginning, you were all not going to, this is not happening. This is not Sock Puppets, is it?
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's correct. And I apologize. I got a brand new puppy, and
it's okay to go for it.
If you hear him, that's him. I swear.
I have a 3-year-old daughter who might scream, so we're good.
Okay,
there.
well, there. Yeah, but no, the sock, it's hilarious because I'm, obviously general manager of the Sock Puppets. I'm a huge, I love the brand, genuinely love the brand. And I'm a huge fan of just what we got going on, and all my buddies and all my family and Ryan, our owner, Thomas, our assistant general manager, they all just crap on me. They're like, you didn't even like it at first. I'm going on these podcasts and I was talking, getting interviewed and everything about the club. And everybody's just like, it shouldn't be you. It's like, look, somebody else do it then. But I love what we got going on. I mean, it's at first I did think it was just a little bit too, far down the line. And I was kind of quick to judge. Is more so of a selfish, innate reaction of myself. Just like, I didn't want to be the Sock Puppets. I didn't want to, how can I tell? It seemed like, I didn't want to tell my friends, I was the GM of the Sock Puppets kind of thing. I just thought it was very kiddish, and I had this too cool for school mentality. And you see that actually with a lot of people, but just like everyone else, I mean, and just like myself, at some point, some people get it right away and they're like, wow, this is awesome. But some people like me are just like,
took your time.
It takes your time, but everybody eventually it clicks, and it's like, okay, this is pretty cool of what we're trying to do and what we have coming down the pipeline. I mean, it's not a stagnant brand in the sense of, hey, this is our logo and and that's it, right? We want to add to these character sets. We want to bring in and introduce more characters that resemble the community that we're from and the history. Because at the end of the day, Sock Puppets, it was based off of the textile history that was in Burlington and Alamance County. Right. So there's a lot of we had, I think, over 1,200 names submitted and ideas submitted. And there's so much history in this area that people just don't know about, or on the flip side, wanted to see honored. And it's cool for us to have a brand that truly can wrap around its arms around everything, every piece of history, and have some fun. So we got some new characters coming down the line, and we actually have a couple characters that we'll be announcing here in about a month.
I love it. I think it's, like I said, it's, as soon as I saw it, it was awesome. Between you guys, the Otterbots, those are very cool names. Very, and I don't mean this in a way of insulting, but it's like, it's very minor league, right? Yeah. And that's the best way, because I think it's great. The colors are amazing, the whole idea behind it, and hopefully, you've gotten a lot of very positive feedback, because that's all from everybody I talk to. Everybody loves the brand, love it, no matter what.
That's awesome. Yeah, I mean, I don't see everything. I try to see as much as I can. And when we first launched, it was hilarious. There's a huge dichotomy between how Facebook reacted and how Twitter reacted. And our Twitter is like 85% out of, like, not out of state, but out of market.
Yeah.
Man, he's just going crazy. He hears my voice. He got huge separation anxiety. I haven't been the best of, like, trying to separate myself. When I'm not.
It happens. I know. Yeah. I got a little Chihuahua, and it's the same thing. It's like, she follows me everywhere.
Everywhere.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
His name is actually Thready.
Thready?
Like a sock, like a thread of a sock.
Yeah.
Mostly a good boy.
Look at that.
Boy, but he's being a little needy today. But yeah, sorry. Our Facebook's a lot more local, and our Facebook, they, just like every community, really doesn't adapt to like quick change right away.
Yeah.
And it wasn't really well received right off the bat. But Twitter, oh my God, it blew up. I mean, you saw it blew up on Twitter, so much positivity on Twitter. But it is awesome now, sitting here in the end of September, looking at our comments now that are on our Facebook. Everybody's in love with the name. They can't wait for next season, everything. So we're just excited and looking forward to the future.
Yeah, definitely. Next year I'll be hopefully I'll be making a trip. I was supposed to go down during the summer, but on the way down, my daughter got sick, and I'm like, oh no, so I couldn't make it. But next year, believe me, I will be there.
We'll keep it to you. I know a guy that can get you tickets, so just let us know.
Okay, yeah, I'll reach out. We'll see what we can do.
That's right.
So let's talk about this world record that the team now holds.
Yeah.
The world record for the most sock puppets in a venue.
Yep, that's right.
How that happened?
Well, we knew with a name like the Sock Puppets, right? I mean, I think a lot of teams are I don't want to say doing it wrong, but like if you go with this crazy name, you can't just have a crazy name and then not do
crazy things,
right? So, and that was our biggest thing, and that was my biggest worry when we were just like, all right, now we're all in kind of things. Like I didn't want to have this crazy outlandish name and just be another baseball experience. So on opening night, Thomas was actually the one, I believe, who had the idea of, and he looked up and he tried to contact Guinness and everything, but Guinness, they charge insane prices just to get a piece of paper saying that we did it. I was like, we're just going to do it anyways. He's like, we should do we should break the world record for sock puppets. I think it was like 678. And we're like, okay, we can smash that. We'll have 3,000 people at our ballpark. And we actually gave away 1,500 promotional socks that were made here locally from a local sock manufacturer, Wilson Brown Sock Company.
Yeah.
And they gave out sock puppets. It said world record sock puppets. And at the middle of the first inning, everybody held them up. And it was a really cool photo op. Is really cool just to see people interacting with the brand in such a unique way. Coming from, 4 months prior to that, everybody's like, sock puppets is childish. Nobody's going to want to do that. And then on opening night, seeing a sold out crowd, literally, being involved with the sock puppet moniker is just really cool. It was really special. And just overall, really, really cool night.
That's awesome. And I love that, in another part that you said in the other podcast was that players were reaching out to you guys to come and wanting to play for the sock puppet, which is, I think it's amazing, right? Just because of the fact that, not only fans, right? Because fans, we're going to buy the merch and all that, but players are going to be wearing the uniform. They're going to be representing. And I think that's absolutely great.
Yeah. And still, I just got another DM today before I was leaving work on Twitter from somebody who wants to come and play for us next year. So, I mean, we haven't even started the recruiting process for the league yet. But it's crazy. It's awesome. I mean, we saw when every visiting team came in, 3 or 4 guys at least from every single team would go to our, create your own sock puppet station and build their own sock puppet. And it's just fun. It's like, that's the stupid stuff. And that's the things that we wanted to bring together and just have fun with it. You just have to shed that too cool for school mentality that I had. And a lot of people have. Just shed that and just come through the gates and have fun and just be different, be unique and be comfortable with who you are and just, let it go and have.
You're right. And I think that's the beauty about the minor leagues, right? It's just that, you go to the ballpark and it's inexpensive and you're just there to have fun. That's all it is, have some fun with that. And I love that.
Yeah. 100%.
Let me ask you, because, and this is a question from my wife. She's the one that wanted to know, what is the difference between a general manager in the major leagues, right? And then your job as a general manager for a minor league team?
Yeah, well, a lot. And I don't correct too many people because they think that I'm a general manager of, I have the same responsibilities that a general manager of a baseball team does, or, of a major league team does. Right. So I don't correct many people, but really I just run a business. I mean, we are a business at the end of the day. So I oversee our sales efforts, our marketing efforts. I oversee all of the, promotions that we do during the game, overall theme nights and everything of that nature. So I'm just a glorified, I'm not a CEO. I don't want to call myself a CEO or a president or whatever, but I just run a business. I don't make trades. I do interact with players and I'll talk with them and meet with them and pretty much just laying out expectations of who we are. This is our brand. This is what I want you to follow, setting up community appearance and such, but I'm not trading players. I'm not signing players or anything of that nature.
And then because this year for you guys, these are all college students, right? So they already come to you guys, correct? Right. Do I got that right? They're already pre-selected and then they come to the field, correct?
Yep. The way that it worked out this past year was Major League Baseball, who owns this league, partnered with USA Baseball, and USA Baseball recruited players and assigned them to teams. And they were the ones that controlled. USA Baseball is pretty much the ones that controlled the roster.
Gotcha. So yeah, like you really had no control over that. That's like, and that's awesome
Yeah.
because a
No,
lot of that's a
I mean,
huge difference.
yeah, huge, incredible difference that, I tell people that, especially like if I'm going on a date with a girl or something, they're like, oh, you're this big GM. It's like, I'll tell you exactly what I do. And then by the end of that, they're like, oh, okay. So it's not
So
that
I'll see you
cool. I
later.
mean, I think it's cool, but
I think it's an amazing job
yeah.
personally, and you're working in the minor leagues and,
That's right.
and this is what we've been discussing in a lot of my episodes is in the minor leagues is, a lot of people, you wear a lot of hats, I'm sure. Right. So in a normal game night, you could be up front selling tickets, then you go in and, sell, concessions. Yeah. Right. And then if it's raining, pulling out the tarp.
One tarp. Yeah. I mean, we had Thomas, our assistant general manager, and myself, when, we tell our staff, always make sure you have a change of shoes and another pair of socks. In my office, I have 4 different pairs of shoes, 3 of which that Thready's been eating lately. But I have 4 different pairs of shoes because, I mean, if it's raining, if it's damp or whatever, putting that tarp on, it's a mess. And then when the tarp's on, the show's not paused, it's not over. We got to keep these fans engaged, and we're still running around putting out, if there's any fires, helping out where it's needed. So I think Tom is specifically, he's more operational based. I'm more sales and customer relation based. Tom's is more operations based. He gets like 40,000-50,000 steps a game. It's crazy. Like
you just put on his watch and you just go put an open activity and off he goes. Cause I'm sure
it's an 8-hour workout. I mean, that dude, he busts his butt. He's one of the best in the business. Really glad that he's my partner and not somebody else's. I think that we have a really solid staff, and a huge part is the work that Thomas does.
That's awesome. I love it. Now you, as far as the team is concerned, you say you're going to be releasing some new things coming up here pretty soon. You guys already working on, I'm sure already working on 2022 for the whole season already, what's coming and all of that, huh?
Yeah, we're working. We're hopefully going to get our schedule and release our schedule here within the next couple of weeks. But yeah, I mean, we're still closing out the season this year a little bit, just kind of having some loose ends. But yeah, we're already full steam ahead planning 2022, getting some season, adding to our season membership, season ticket base, finding new unique partnerships that will enhance the fan experience and just get some energy back into the 2022 season. We have some huge announcements we're going to be making over the next couple of months regarding our 2022 season and some special events that we'll be hosting. But yeah, it's going to be a good time. The 2021 season was awesome. The inaugural year was amazing, but it's not even going to hold a candle to what 2022 is going to be.
Gotcha. So let's talk about let me ask you about this friendly rivalry that you have going on with your counterpart over in Danville.
Yeah. Well, I wouldn't even really call it a rivalry because, for rivals, there has to be this back and forth, and it's just us and then there's them kind of thing.
Hey, I'm with you there.
It's like Michigan, Ohio State. Michigan hasn't beaten Ohio State in the last, 15 years. It's like that. I mean, they can beat us on the field and they can gloat about that. But I mean, they're like our little stepbrother,
I appreciate that. I appreciate you say that because I've had a lot of, Otterbots ambassadors here on the podcast. And of course, they like to brag, but I'm like, listen, I like you guys, but my first love is still going to be my sock puppets. I'm just letting you that right now.
I say, yeah, you better never leave us. And I will say that this will be like the only compliment I give them. I think what Austin Scher, the general manager up there, and his team has done and building that ambassador program has been really, really cool. I mean, talk about so one thing, I don't know if you know this, but Ryan is actually our owner, is actually the owner of the.
I know. Yeah.
When they took over Danville, the Braves took everything, literally everything from the concession items to the batting cage nets. They took everything. So when Austin got up there I think he started in February, about a month and a half, or January, a month and a half before they rebranded to the Otterbots. I mean, he had to start from literally they didn't even give him passwords to their own social media accounts. So he had to grow everything in a unique way. And I think what he did with the brand ambassador program and having so many different states involved has been incredibly cool to see. And to have the ambassadors still now 6 months later, a part of their off season, a part still on their social media. It's been a really, really cool. I think they did a really great job. Granted, they're not still nearly as good as the sock puppets, but hey,
I'm with you there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I will give them that, because they really do have a very unique also brand, number two, but all brand that they have. And then the ambassadors, the people that I've met so far, from the ambassador program, they've all been, very, very nice people. They're cool people that at the end of the day, they all love baseball, and they really do love the friendly rivalry that exists, that you
Yeah.
don't see in a lot of other leagues, really.
Leagues,
So
leagues, teams. I mean, yeah, you name it. I mean, I'm very impressed, and it's one thing I don't think, and this is why I can't give you enough compliments and can't thank you enough. I mean, I don't think people understand, specifically to a minor league team, or I guess like we're not even technically a minor league team, but a small market team like us. I mean, people like you and people like the ambassadors who take time out of their day and post on social media supporting outwardly certain clubs, and for you a lot of different clubs. It really does mean a lot. It's awesome to see. I mean, whenever we see you on social media, whether it's highlighting our hat or somebody else's hat, your hat of the day, it really does make a difference. And I don't know, like I said, I don't know if people give you guys enough thanks, but at the end of the day, you guys are the fans, and you guys are really what keeps us going. And if it wasn't for you guys, if it wasn't for your support, we wouldn't be nearly as energetic and positive and successful as we could be, or as we are, thanks to you guys. So the ambassadors for Danville, shout out to them. They're awesome. Shout out to you, Ed. I mean, you really do a huge, awesome thing for minor league sports in general. And people need to start thanking you more.
It's fun, to be honest with you. And, but I've told this already, but like, the reason why I started all of this, the podcast, the hats and all that, and purchasing is, and you touched on this, is at the end of the day, you guys are a small business, right? And this was my way of supporting small businesses. And as soon as you guys dropped the dad hat, I was like, I bought it right away. There was no stopping me. I told my wife, I'm like, I love you. Sorry, I'm doing this, like, everybody has their niche, right? Everybody do the 5950s or collect whatever they want. I went for the data, and I was like, yep, this is what I wanted. And then it took off from there. So yeah, no, I definitely, you guys got a supporter in me, and you guys got a support in a lot of, especially Twitter. Like you said though, right? Twitter is like, all for the Appalachian League. So yeah, kudos to you guys.
This league's been a lot of fun to be a part of. I never thought to myself, because I knew coming up to Burlington that we were going to be contracted. We weren't going to be minor league baseball technically anymore. But Ryan and I got our starts here in baseball, and Thomas and myself and Ryan, we had the goal of saving baseball here in Burlington, and at least providing high class and giving them something that they can be proud of and they can look forward to. And yeah, this brand's been awesome. This league's been awesome. And just seeing the support, like I said, from you guys has just been incredible.
Now, let me ask you, because there is a difference, right? There's a difference between an affiliated team and then you guys being a collegiate wood bat league. There's a huge difference there, right?
Yep.
In retrospect, would you still like to be the way that you guys are now? Would you prefer to be a, collegiate wood bat league, rather than an affiliated? I mean, being an affiliated has its perks, right?
Right. I mean, naturally, affiliate has its perks, right? You have your specific tie to a parent club, and the parent club's backing, and the parent club support, and you guys, and we're just automatically in that family of, if you're an Indians fan, right, you're going to be a fan of the Columbus Clippers, you're going to be a fan of the Rubber Ducks, right? So we don't necessarily have that family, but what we do have is just something very, very different, and it is just more of a baseball purist support, where they know the history of the Appalachian League. And I think a lot of people were going to be bummed if they saw the Appalachian League go to the wayside. And the fact that we're still here operating under collegiate, albeit, rather than minor league affiliate, I think there's a great family of fans that are still here. But I would say I don't have a preference, really. I would say if you would have asked me a year ago, I would have said definitely I would have loved to be affiliated. But Major League Baseball has been tremendous partners with us this year. I mean, we had an Appalachian League All-Star game that was televised on MLB Network.
That's awesome. Yeah.
That doesn't happen to AA leagues, AAA leagues. I mean, I worked for the Daytona Tortugas prior to coming up here, and our FS South Florida or Florida State League All-Star game wasn't on MLB Network, but ours with the Appalachian League is. So I think there's just so many benefits of this league that that already exist and will exist moving forward, because Major League Baseball is very, very committed to keeping baseball in these communities, that I'm really excited for the future. And I wouldn't want to be in any other league.
I like that. And that's something that reading on it that I found out that it's like, okay, so Major League Baseball does own part of the Appalachian League as a whole, because the narrative, when all of this went down, is that okay, they're coming to take over, and there was a lot of negative, thought, including myself. I'm not going to shy away from that, because a lot of teams did lose their affiliation.
Correct.
But you had to wait, because what you saw was, you have like the Mahoney Valley Scrappers, who also now then become a prospect league. The whole league that you guys are part of became the Collegiate Woodbat League. So there is, I'm glad that you guys are still around, because it's the small towns that would have suffered if there was no baseball in your town, in the town.
Right. 100%. I mean, that's exactly it's the towns that had had baseball for hundreds of 100 decades of years, and that would have went to the wayside. And yeah, Major League Baseball could have probably done it better, at least the marketing and the PR of, hey, this is what we wanted to do. But I mean, talking with them and seeing what they've done, it makes sense why they did what they did. Obviously, it stunk at the time, and like I said, they could have probably done a little bit better on the PR side of things. But they really have tried to keep baseball in all of the towns that is no longer affiliated. Like you said, I mean, you just named Mahoney Valley Scrappers in that league, and I mean, Trenton Thunder. I know everybody's bummed to see them lose their affiliation, but Major League Baseball made sure that they had a partnered league and everything. So I think Major League Baseball is doing a lot of great things. There's a lot of things that obviously a lot of fans and myself might not agree with, and that's okay, but that's like everything, right? Like,
I was just gonna say, it's just like a business.
There's never there's things that the NFL does that people don't agree with. There's things that the NBA does that people don't agree with. And Major League Baseball is no exception. They're not perfect. They're trying to be as best they can. They're trying to find the mold of how do they take care of their players in the majors, but specifically in the minors. But how do they keep the fan experience and keep baseball growing and thriving in all of these, smaller communities and smaller markets across the United States? So the challenge that they face is crazy to think about, crazy to think about. But I think that they mean well for the most part. They mean well, but for the most part, they're trying and doing a pretty solid job. And like I said, I'm just really, really excited to partner with them and
No, I mean, me as a fan, right? I'm sitting in the basement of my house. I'm thinking small room. You know what I mean? Like, and they have to look at it from a much higher level where. So many teams, so many leagues, the affiliations with all the other teams, and on top of that, have to deal with the major league side and the players union and all that. So I listen. I give them credit. I like you said, I think there was a huge miss when it comes to communication and how it went about it. Yeah, absolutely. And I think they will admit that.
Yeah, and hindsight's always 2020, right?
You guys are all set and all for 2021, 2022. I would like to ask a very serious question here. When I go next year, I would love to throw out the first pitch to one of the games. Can we make that happen?
We can. Oh, for sure. Just let us know what game we can coordinate. And
yes.
And yeah, I know a guy that can make that happen once again.
See, again, I'm gonna keep this guy in my
it's Thomas.
list.
It's Thomas. It's not me. Thomas really makes things happen. Okay? I'm gonna be honest.
I will be emailing Thomas. Thomas, keep an eye out for an email from me, okay, buddy? All right. So before I go into my famous, not so famous questions here, let's talk about a little bit of about our Browns team. Do you have any hope for our team?
Yeah, I think we're really good. Our offensive line, I believe I just saw is I'm a huge PFF guy. I love the advanced stats for football. We're ranked in the top 3, both on the offensive pass or blocking pass. Pass rush or pass blocking and run blocking, if I can speak correctly. Our offense, I mean, it's just crazy to think like how big of a turnaround Stefanski and Barry has had in a year and a half, changing what was our absolute downfall of that offensive line to creating this fortress that gives Chubb and Hunt room and Baker time. And it's a lot of fun to watch this Browns offense and this Browns team. It's just so different
from what we've been watching for over the years.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy. I remember, I don't remember what exact year, but I remember going to is the Browns Dolphins opening day it was in Cleveland, and we were high and mighty. I don't remember, maybe it's Josh Gordon's second year or something, is back in 13 or 14, it doesn't matter. But I was at the game with my dad, and we just got crushed, and we left that game, and my dad was just so mad. And he's like, I'm just sick and tired of being a Browns fan. Every single year is the same thing. I get my hopes up. We have this guy, we have that guy, and it just all goes down the drain. And it's been fun. And I'm down here in North Carolina. My dad's up in Ohio, and we FaceTimed when we watched the Steelers game to hear him literally as giddy as a schoolgirl when the Browns recovered the fumble for the
yes. Oh my God, yes.
he was a kid, and I'm sitting here just like, that was a cool memory that I'll always have. And then obviously we watched the Chiefs game together too. That wasn't the best thing, but it's just, I think that's the power of sports right there. Not to get
absolutely. Yeah, no, yeah.
You just have these memories and you create these experiences and everything with your friends, your family, and they'll stick with you forever. I mean, I'll remember that Steelers playoff game, even though I wasn't there and I wasn't with my dad at the time, but like we were FaceTiming, just hearing him laugh like a little kid. It's just the cool thing. And that's art. And that's why I love my job so much is, I'm not making the highlight trades and signing the big name player, but when people are walking through our gates, I get to be a part of the piece that puts a smile on their faces. Right. And give them a memory and give them an experience that they'll be able to remember for hopefully forever. And I think that's something that I take for granted sometimes. And I think a lot of people take for granted working in this industry, that we really have an awesome responsibility that we get to bring joy into people's lives, especially after this past 2020, when there was a huge deprivation, if that's a word, of joy. Yeah. And to see this year, it's been fun. I love my job. I love the sock puppets, and man, oh man, it's a good time.
I love it. I think you put it right. And then, when I remember that Steelers game, because I myself am married to a Steelers fan. Oh, yes, sir. Exactly. I know, right? So all these years of me taking the abuse to finally get to say, that's right. It's our turn, you know?
But that's how, I mean, but even with rivals, right? Like even with that rival, like that's such a fun.
It is. And that's what it is.
Between you and your wife, right? On Sundays, even when the Browns aren't playing the Steelers, but especially when we are, it's just that fun rivalry that only sports can create. Only sports can create.
Completely agree with you. I think it's like, we both sit down, we both watch, and we love football, but our sport is baseball first. And it's just like, it's that one, sports is the one thing that really brings fans together, whether you hate, the other team or not dislike the other team. I think it's just, at the end of the day, it just brings more people together, and I'm all for it. So I'm with you there, my friend. Yeah. All right, so here we go. Are we ready for this?
Not so famous questions.
There we go. So this is going to be kind of funny, but when you go to the ballpark as a fan, what is the first snack that you have to? What is that snack, or food that you eat?
All right. Well, I will say this. I've only had a hot dog one time in my life, and it was it was at winter meetings in 2018 when it was in Las Vegas. I was with Ryan, then team president of the Tortugas. He made me try a hot dog. I hated it. I wasn't a big fan of it, and I haven't had a hot dog since. Haven't had a hot dog then. Never had a hot dog at a game. I roll thousands of hot dogs a day. But yeah, no, not a hot dog guy. I'm a huge chicken tender basket guy. I'm a huge popcorn guy, huge peanuts guy, and ice cream. I won't eat, maybe if I don't eat dinner, or if I don't have, pizza or chicken tenders at a ballpark, whatever, I'm always going to have ice cream. Always.
Absolutely. I hear the ice cream tastes better in a little batting helmet, from what I'm told. That's right. Yeah. Now, do you guys have those in your ballpark?
We don't this year. We have Dippin' Dots, but that is something that we're looking to get is a little sock puppets batting helmet that
we'll put
Dippin' Dots into. So that's coming down the line. Don't you worry.
I love it. Love it. I'm a little heartbroken about hot dogs, because I'm a huge hot dog guy. But hey, listen, we can all be perfect. I understand that.
I know.
All right, Pepsi or Coke? Now, remind you, you are in North Carolina, my friend.
Pepsi. I don't care what anybody says. Pepsi is baseball.
Yes, it is.
It's in the majority. I think it's in all ballparks except Atlanta, maybe.
Because obviously, yeah.
Coke is good at McDonald's. I'll give them that. But Pepsi is meant for baseball.
Right. I said that all the time. That Coke from McDonald's, I don't know what it is. I don't know what they do. Some magic, but it is delicious there. I'll give him that. Okay. Um, who was your growing up? Who was your celebrity crush?
Celebrity crush. Yeah, I mean, Omar, when I was a young kid, was definitely my idol from a baseball standpoint. And then it became Michael Brantley when I was in high school. Michael Brantley was my favorite player. Asdrubal Cabrera before that. But overall, celebrity crush, or I guess like you said, crush, not idol. Celebrity crush growing up. It's Alexandra Daddario now. She's just the love of my life. But growing up, I would probably say, honestly, this is cliche, but I'd probably say Beyonce. I love the Austin Powers movies. Okay.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Her and Goldmember was just like, my dad showed me that when I was like 7 or 8 years old, whenever it came out. I don't remember. Maybe I was 10. And I was like, oh my God. Like, this is
That's amazing. I love it. All right. Pineapple on pizza, yay or nay?
Oh, no.
You are
the fact that people even think that's a suitable question is like absolutely blows my mind.
You know what? You're absolutely right. I completely agree with you there. Okay, so rain or snow?
See, okay, so like this is tough, and this is why I want to answer. I like snow for a day. Okay, I like snow for a day. I like snowmobiling. I'm not the best snowboarder, but I'll snowboard if I ever had the chance. And I like snow for a day, but snow gets annoying after a while, specifically because that means it has to be cold, and I don't like the cold.
Yes.
You know, it's 75 degrees here and I'm in a sweatshirt, right? You know, people wouldn't be able to tell that I'm from the north. However, I can't say rain because rain is just the death of baseball, right? Like if it's raining, you're not playing baseball. So that's just a tough question. I would say, you know, I will still say with rain, because with rain, it means it's at least warm enough to play baseball. We have a tarp that we can put on.
And you can keep going.
Stops, we can keep going. So I'll say rain.
Yeah, I'm in Ohio and I'm stuck here, you know, and I'm with you. I like it for like maybe a day, half a day, and then it can go away for all I care. Exactly. I'm with you there.
Sunny and 75 again.
Absolutely. Favorite sports movie?
Favorite sports movie? I love Semi-Pro with Semi-Pro, but I'm very partial to Major League. Major League One and Major League Two. You know, being an Indians fan, even though it's ironic because they're making fun of Cleveland. I loved the Major League movies. Once again, that's a movie that I used to watch with my dad all the time growing up.
Yes, so, I love it. Yeah, it's a great movie. It's, I mean, if you are from up here, you gotta love it. You know what I mean? It's just. And
it's because everybody's like, you know, they're making fun of Cleveland, right? It's like, I don't care.
Who cares?
It's just so it's funny. The liners are great. You know, you see a high fly ball that's definitely going to be gone. It's like, oh, it's too high.
Yes, sir. Absolutely. Exactly. People don't get it. I don't understand. Okay. So what is your spirit animal?
Spirit animal. I don't know why. But it's always been an orangutan. Okay, I don't know why. I've been in orangutans. I gave a presentation when I was like 7th or 8th grade on orangutans during, I think, our art class or history class. I don't remember what it was, but or science class maybe. But orangutans, I don't remember what the fun facts even were about the thing. But I've always loved orangutans since I gave a presentation on it.
That's hilarious. Yeah. What is the most used emoji? Which one is the one that you use the most? Emoji.
Let's see. I'll put myself on the spot.
We are
top left is here are mine.
Oh yeah, the laughing one, the sideways laughing one.
The sideways laughing one I like more than the laughing one. Sock is obviously up there.
Of course.
A lady being a pregnant lady is on there. I swear that's not like one. I don't remember even using it.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, but there's that, and then obviously the beer.
Love it. I mean, obviously. You got that. All right. Last but not least, do you think that aliens exist?
Oh, 100%. I think it's ignorant to think otherwise. I mean, in a galaxy, in a universe that's as large as ours, that we have no idea what it is. I think aliens exist, and I think they're among us.
You are correct, my man. Thank you so much.
Got you.
This has been so much fun. I really do appreciate you coming on. I've had a lot of fun. I greatly appreciate it. Good luck to you and the team. I'll definitely be watching and rooting for you guys for sure, you know, because definitely you guys are my favorite team. Getting the dog, that's hilarious.
I already wanted to say goodbye. So
absolutely. Look at that cute dog. Love it.
All right. Thank you, Ed.
All right, my friend. Thank you.
See you. Take care.
I hope you guys enjoyed that interview with Anderson. I know I did. I want to thank him for coming on my podcast. He certainly didn't have to, but he did. So again, thank you for that. So before I go, a couple of things, okay, guys? Make sure you guys hit that subscribe button so that way you guys are always aware of what is coming on. I do have the YouTube channel coming on as well. So those are already a couple of videos there. So make sure you hit subscribe. And then if you don't mind, go ahead and give it 5 stars so that way we go up on the rankings so more people are able to enjoy this episode and also the rest of the episodes that I have already recorded. Okay? Until then, keep on grinding and always support the minor leagues.
This podcast is part of the Curved Brim Media Network. Here are some of the other members of Curved Brim Media.
Hi, this is Ed Rivera of the Dad Hat Chronicles. Join me as I interview people just like you and players, coaches, GMs on the path that led you to become a fan of the sport.
I'm Paul Caputo, and on the Baseball by Design podcast, I talk to minor league baseball teams, designers, and other super interesting people about what these minor league baseball logos mean. And I talk a little bit about ice cream helmets.
What's up, Bucketheads? I'm Anna DiTomaso, and each week on the Baseball Bucket List podcast, I speak with a different fan about their favorite baseball memories, what the game means to them, and what's left to check off on their baseball bucket list.
Hey guys, this is Patrick Larson from the Minor League Baseball Hat History Series, and in every episode I go through the history of minor league teams through my personal collection of hats. You can find me on Twitter at @PatLarson1. I hope you guys enjoy.
This is Patrick
and Corey
of BaseballMapper.com, and we have made an interactive map to help highlight all baseball teams from the majors down to collegiate summer leagues.
We want to bring you closer to baseball. So get on the site and find a team near you today.
Learn more about Curved Brim Media at curvedbrimmedia.com.